G'day, Dan here from KAS. This is a KASAccess and Cloudbeds integration demonstration. Purpose of this demonstration is to show how the communication between Cloudbeds and KAS occurs. First of all, we'll just start within KASAccess, just showing you around the keys list. Obviously we have a bunch of keys that are already in or set to various rooms. What I want to draw your attention to is the details right here, which actually show you a user's name and actually their Cloudbeds identifier. So any of these keys that you can see here with these identifiers have been added via the KASAccess to Cloudbeds integration, and I'm going to show you exactly how that occurs today. Alright, moving over to Cloudbeds. Firstly, we'll just create a reservation. I'm just going to set this one in at $0 just to make sure that we don't end up getting charged for this demonstration. We don't corrupt data. So what I'm doing is I'm just checking someone into a particular room that's been mapped to KASAccess. In this case, I'm going to enter a pin code, or I could enter a 10-digit RFID card number into this field here. Now for the moment, I'm just going to make it a pin code. Let's just make the pin code 5578. Selecting a room number, we'll just pick, I don't know, any old dirty room, it doesn't really matter. We'll put Bob Jones as the name. Email address, might as well just use my own. And most importantly, a phone number, +61 452 189 515, which is my phone number. You'll notice I've used the +61 country code. Reason being is because we can actually send out SMS notifications. We don't typically use the mobile field because via channels like booking.com, mobile field comes through in the phone field. We can use the mobile as well. Now, one thing I'd also like to point out is if I don't put in a PIN number in this section here, i.e. if the booking has come through via booking.com or Expedia or something similar, it would not have this custom field here. So if I leave that empty, it's actually going to use the last 4 digits of the mobile phone as the PIN number by default. Now you can actually change that by default, it's entirely up to you. You just need to advise us when you're setting up the integration or when we're setting up the integration. So that's all that we really need to do. I've given the person a name, I've added some details in there, I'll just confirm the reservation. And in a moment I'll take you through to make.com to show you what actually occurs. Now just before we do, I'm just going to show you around make.com. So we set up make.com for you. You will need to register for a roughly $10 a month account with make.com. It facilitates this integration. We've created custom modules for make.com for both Cloudbeds and for KASAccess, and that allows us to use make.com to customize the integration specific to your requirements. In this case, we're monitoring all of the monitorable webhooks that make.com make available. So we have new reservation dates changed, room type change, status changed. Those are the what we call webhooks. They're the events that we're monitoring or that we can monitor within Cloudbeds. There are a few that we would like to see Cloudbeds add in the future, but these will cover 95% of the user scenarios, and I'll take you through what it does and doesn't include at a later stage. Alright, so I'm just going to monitor the new reservation scenario. I don't need to monitor, this runs in the background, but to help you visualize what actually occurs when a reservation comes through Cloudbeds, we're just going to open up the screen here. So finalizing things, I'm just going to choose to check in the guest upon completing the reservation, and I'm going to confirm the reservation. And once we do that, we're going to switch back to make.com and actually watch the integration occur. And then once we've done that, we're going to go to KASAccess and you'll be able to see the PIN numbers on the lock. Okay, we'll confirm that reservation. We don't need to send an email at this stage, and you'll notice this little spinning icon over here indicating that data is being received by make.com. And in a few moments you'll see this little line sort of progress, as you can see, across to KASAccess where it's being processed. That key is now going onto the lock, and once it's been successfully processed, the integration run will finish, indicating that the key has landed on the lock successfully. And this can take anywhere between about 15 to 45 seconds depending on the network traffic at that particular time. So that one's now complete. You can see that we've got a success badge here, and when we switch to KASAccess, refresh the keys list, we're going to see that Bob Jones now has his key on room 13. Now, how does this room here, bed 13E, or how does KASAccess know that 13E correlates to room 13? Well, this is an interesting scenario. These guys are a dorm, so they have maybe multiple beds for a single room, and in this case we've solved that by utilising something called aliases within each lock. So each lock, as you can see, has various aliases, and you'll notice that these aliases correlate directly to what we see over here in Cloudbeds. So we've booked out bed 13E. You can see over here that bed 13E is an alias of room 13, and that way KASAccess knows how to add the key to the lock. Now, if I were to go to that lock at the defined check-in time, which is today between 11 AM and tomorrow between 11 AM, and utilise the PIN number 5578, that lock would let me in, and it would also send back a report through to our dashboard over here indicating that someone has tried to enter that room. Anyway, that's all that we've got for the moment. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot through an email, dan@kas.com.au or sales@kas.com.au. Thanks.